Imagine a city 1 hour away from Toronto, Canada's biggest metropolis. Now picture its neighbor. Boarded up storefronts, tent cities and parks, crime rates worse than the big smoke itself. Welcome to Hamilton. Once the hammer, now Canada's zombie capital. Drop your take in the comments. Is Hamilton a city or just Toronto's trash can with higher taxes? Roast it, defend it, prove me wrong. I'll pin the most savage reply. So why does almost nobody want to move here? Is it the housing collapse? Is it the rent crisis, the crime surge, or just decades of failure stacked on top of each other? Could you stomach paying hundreds of thousands of dollars to live beside a half-collapsed crack house with half the city outside yelling at an invisible tree? Let's find out. Hamilton housing market is a cruel joke. The average home, $767,000. That's after prices dropped almost 7% in 1 month this summer. Step back 5 years, still up 22%. Hamilton somehow stayed expensive while collapsing at the same time. And what do you actually get? In 2022, part of a downtown building fell onto King Street. 3 years later, still crumbling, still unfixed, the city has more than 120 abandoned buildings. Owners just walk away, boarded up, left to rot. So yes, you can buy in Hamilton for less than Toronto, but what you're really getting is Detroit scenery with a Canadian price tag. Condo buyers who paid $600,000 in 2021 are now begging for offers at $400,000. Assignments collapsing, closings walking away, dream homes turning into bank sale nightmares. Hamilton real estate isn't affordable. It's just a slower way to go broke. And if you think buying is bad, try renting. A 1-bedroom apartment, $1,800 a month, almost the same as Toronto. That's Manhattan rent in a city that feels like a half-abandoned theme park. And the human cost, it's spilling into the streets. Last year, the city counted 1,216 homeless people in a single night, up 31% from just a few years earlier. Tent cities, parks turned into encampments, sidewalks turned into shelters. Locals and visitors are starting to call downtown a zombie apocalypse. And here's the stat that's gonna gut you. A homeless Hamiltonian dies every 12 days. So yes, Toronto rent is brutal, but at least Toronto has jobs, opportunities, nightlife. Hamilton, similar rent, double the misery. Hamilton's renting situation, pay Manhattan prices, get Skid Row vibes. Can't pay? No problem. There's always room in a tent down the block. Welcome to the housing Hunger Games. But housing isn't the only nightmare. Step outside in Hamilton and the city hits you in the face like a sucker punch. In 2023, the city saw 11 homicides. That's a 120% jump from the year before. 48 incidents, and the year wasn't even over. Overall, more than 31,000 crimes reported in a single year, up 9%. Mini Gotham City, minus the billionaire who saves it. And here's where it gets absurd. One resident just put up 10 security cameras around his house, caught multiple crimes, even helped police catch a suspected serial killer. What did City Hall do? Ordered him to take it down because of a bizarre old bylaw that bans fortifications. So Hamilton punishes the guy catching criminals, while shootings and break-ins start climbing. You can't script stupidity like that. A national index just ranked Hamilton the 6th most dangerous city in Canada. Worse than Toronto, worse than Vancouver, worse than Montreal. Statistically, you're safer in Toronto than in small Hamilton. And crime is only part of the collapse, because the real monster here is poverty and drugs. In 2023, Hamilton paramedics answered 964 overdose calls. That's 80 overdoses a month, 2 to 3 a day. Hamilton's opioid death rate, 44% higher than the average in Ontario. Walk down and you'll see it. Boarded up shops, people smoking and injecting in broad daylight right in front of your kids, panhandlers on every corner, many people now referring to it as Hamilton's zombie city. And they weren't exaggerating. A homeless person in Hamilton dies every 12 days, not every 12 months, every 12 days. Usually overdose, sometimes exposure, always preventable. Drive 45 minutes to Oakville or Burlington and you won't see tent cities in the parks. But in Hamilton, poverty and addiction are wallpaper. This city is Ontario's overdose capital, a reputation that no one wants. And even if you manage to dodge the crime and sidestep poverty, you'll still run straight into Hamilton's broken economy. The unemployment rate sits around 6 to 7%, but youth unemployment, 12 to 13%. The highest since the Great Recession. College grads pouring coffee at Tim Hortons, McMaster degrees driving Ubers because the real jobs left a long time ago. In late 2023, National Steel Car laid off 500 workers right before Christmas. One of the last big factories in town, gone. And Hamilton's supposed Steel City, Stelco is a shell of itself. The city's biggest employer right now, Indeed.com, because everyone's job hunting. Toronto, Waterloo, London, that's where Hamilton's youth are going. Brain drain in real time. What's left here? Warehouses, call centers, and broken promises. So let's be clear. This isn't just about high prices or ugly streets. Hamilton is a city bleeding from every angle. Housing, crime, poverty, jobs. It's a full-blown collapse. And if you're sitting here thinking, I just need to get out of here, but how do I do it without losing my shirt? Here's your answer. If you want out of Hamilton and you want to make sure you do it profitably, grab my free seller guide. It'll show you exactly how to cash out before the bottom falls out. And if you think it can't get worse, wait until you see what Hamilton charges you for the privilege. The city has some of the highest property taxes in the entire country, an effective rate of 1.42%. That's over $7,000 a year on a modest $500,000 home. And in 2024, City Hall dropped a 7.3% tax hike, nearly 50% higher than the average hike in other cities. Hamilton's motto right now, bleed the residents dry and patch nothing. A viral comparison told the story. Burlington tax bill, about $4,500. Hamilton, over $7,100. That's the $2,500 Hamilton premium. And what do you get for it? Not clean streets, not safe parks, not working infrastructure. You get potholes, blackouts, and boiling water advisories. Toronto's tax rate, barely half of Hamilton's. Hamilton is literally more expensive than cities twice its wealth. Champagne taxes, beer service. And that brings us to the next disaster, infrastructure. Infrastructure, or more accurately, the total absence of it. Hamilton has been getting an LRT since 2007. 17 years later, not a single rail in the ground. That's more than 20 years of waiting for a train line. Meanwhile, the road's catastrophic. Aberdeen Avenue was just voted the worst road in Ontario. Hamilton also grabbed the third place. 2 of the top 3 worst roads in the province, like winning a lottery if the prize was flat tires. Drivers here joke that you need a tank of gas to get across town. Sinkholes opening up, water mains bursting, transit buses breaking down in the cold. Even hospitals aren't safe. ERs are jammed, ambulances stuck in code zero shortages. Hamilton doesn't just fail, it collapses in real time. And all of this feeds into the city's reputation. Because Hamilton isn't just crumbling on the inside, it's a punchline everywhere else. For decades, people called it the armpit of Ontario, and that nickname stuck. Now social media has leveled up the insult. Canada's zombie city. Ask anyone from Toronto or Niagara, Hamilton is the place you drive past, not the place you stop, not the place you move to. NBA star Shai Alexander is from here. And when he blew up, the running joke was he put the armpit on the map, and then he bounced. That's the brand Hamilton carries. Even Detroit has a comeback story. Hamilton, still waiting, still rushing, still getting laughed at. So let's add it all up. Sky-high taxes, crumbling infrastructure, and a reputation that stinks as bad as the waterfront smokestacks. Hamilton isn't just struggling, it's rotting from the inside out. And if you're wondering how Hamilton got this bad, look no further than City Hall. This isn't just bad management, it's a scandal on repeat. Cover-ups, corruption, incompetence so bad it would be funny if it wasn't killing the city. Take the sewer gate. For 4 straight years, Hamilton Security dumped 24 billion liters of raw sewage in the Chidoki Creek. 24 billion. That's 10,000 Olympic swimming pools of human waste. And when they got caught, they didn't apologize, they covered it up. Keep residents in the dark until a record $2.1 million fine hit. Hamilton literally poisoned itself and tried to hide the smell. Or the Red Hill Valley Parkway. The city buried a safety report for years, a report that said pavement was dangerously slick. Accidents piled up, people died, and officials sat on the evidence. A judicial inquiry finally dragged the truth out. Hamilton leaders cared more about image than saving lives. Add that all up. Sewage, secrets, scandals. That's the blueprint of City Hall. In the future, it doesn't look any better. On paper, the province projects Hamilton to grow to 850,000 people by 2051. But in reality, population growth here has crawled at just 3% in the last 5 years, barely half the national average. Mostly seniors, mostly low-income migrants, not the workforce that builds prosperity. And the big projects, canceled, delayed, or stuck in court. The downtown revival plan, gone. Pier 8 waterfront, buried in lawsuits. The LRT, we already know about that one. Try again in 2030. Meanwhile, young people keep leaving. Graduates from McMaster and Mohawk pick up within 5 years and bounce because there's nothing here for them. No jobs, no future, no reason to stay. Hamilton, still rusting, still waiting, still bleeding out. So what does that leave? A city that's become Canada's cautionary tale. Once the hammer, now Canada's zombie capital. And unless something drastic changes, that name's going to stick. So if you're sitting around here thinking, I just need to get out before the city drags me down with it, listen closely. If you want out of Hamilton and you want to make sure you do it profitably, click the link below, grab my free seller guide before the bottom falls out.